Hello everyone, it's Imran here. Welcome back to another video. So, I am going to react to another video by the odds ones out. It's been quite a while. Been quite a while since I last reacted to one of his videos. This one was the newest one that was uploaded nearly 2 weeks ago. It was so I know I'm 2 weeks late on it, but I just have not had the time to react to this video. I have until now. And this one is called "I Miss YouTube Rewinds." So the last video by the odds ones out that I did react to was the animation before computers one, and that was actually, it was quite a cool one. I definitely enjoyed it. If you do want to see me check that out, I'll have it up in the top right corner of your screen. And yeah, that's basically what I got to say. So we all know what YouTube Rewind used to be like. They did at the end of each year, YouTube would do a rewind of some of the best moments from the year it was. That obviously ended after the 2019 edition, and especially after the torrid reception that the 2018 one got. So yeah, we don't have YouTube rewinds anymore. There was supposed to be one in 2020, but was cancelled. Obviously, it was, and well, YouTube after that, YouTube rewinds just basically got cancelled permanently. They did. So yeah, that's basically the nutshell of YouTube the past of YouTube rewinds summed up in a nutshell right there. So yeah, I never really watched any YouTube rewinds. I did, but I heard that some of them were pretty cool. Apart from the last two, it was. But I wonder why James really does miss YouTube rewinds. I wonder why he does. I guess there's only one way for us to find out. I'm sorry if I'm constantly doing this. I'm currently really itchy and I don't know why, so I'm trying to get rid of the itches right now. I'll try not to scratch as much as I did in the last video I just did just now, but that'll be a bit difficult when you're really itchy right there. But enough. You don't need to hear me talking about how itchy I am. Let's just see what this new video by the odds one out is all about. Links to the video I'm reacting to in the description down below as always. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this.
Guys, I have a brilliant idea. What if we do the In My Feelings challenge? What do you think?
What's the In My Feelings challenge?
It was that dance people did outside of their moving cars in 2018.
That's stupid.
I know! It's weird to
Yeah.
me that YouTube Rewind 2018 came out over 5 years ago, which makes
Damn.
it old enough to be something to reminisce about. There's a fresh generation of iPad
Rewind 2011 to 2018, and you got a picture of Will Smith right there.
about. There's a fresh generation of iPad kids who don't get to experience the yearly tradition of coming together as a community and watching the newest YouTube Rewind. And absolutely hating it. In case you all
Ooh.
forgot, the website YouTube.com used to make these celebratory videos showcasing all the important events and memes that had happened throughout the year. And all these
It was a 2010
YouTubers would get
edition.
together and do a silly little dance, and everyone had a grand old time. And since these videos were produced by the very platform you're currently watching this on, rewinds would always receive a lot of attention. Now, according to my memory, YouTube rewinds were pretty well received. At first. But you see, as time went on, the general public and the YouTubers involved started to grow weary. People were throwing around words like cringe, and this isn't what YouTube represents, and that's that. That's that. And it all accumulated to YouTube's magnum opus, YouTube Rewind 2018.
Oh.
Everyone controls Rewind. Hashtag YouTube Rewind. Which is a video that was so universally hated that it holds the world record for most disliked video ever.
Oh, I didn't know that. I knew that YouTube Rewind 2018 was really hated. It was, but the fact it's the most disliked video on YouTube, I don't know currently. I think at the moment of recording this, it's still currently most disliked. But to be the most disliked YouTube video ever, oh, ouch! And a video made by the platform its very self.
A record it will now hold perpetually because of the whole dislike thing. The audience wasn't happy, the YouTubers involved weren't happy, until finally YouTube snapped and was like, alright, fine, if no one wants it, we'll stop doing it. We were just doing this as a favor anyways. And so YouTube discontinued the Rewind project indefinitely, with 2018 being the last time we ever got a rewind.
What about me, James?
How dare you even consider yourself worthy of being called a Rewind 2019? A top 10 video? Really? At least 2011 had Rebecca Black hosting. Leave
Rebecca
2019 Black. Before I tell you the top 10 ways on how I'm gonna hurt you. So getting back to the actual last YouTube Rewind, you know, the one with the most dislikes in the whole world. If we skip to 3 minutes and 2 seconds into that video, we see,
guys, let's do the In My Feelings challenge.
Oh geez.
It was you.
That's me. I know I'm a little late to the party, but since we've all had a challenge.
So that's what the beginning reference was right there.
Yes. That's me. I know I'm a little late to the party, but since we've all had enough time to grow and reflect as people, I would like to finally share some of my thoughts and experiences working on YouTube Rewind 2018. The first thing I want to talk about is how none of the YouTubers involved got any type of monetary compensation. At least none of the ones I talked to did. This was a big issue that a lot of other YouTubers had in their expose videos, but I personally was not bothered by it. Was I getting paid in exposure? Yes. In fact, I actually lost money doing this because I had to get my friend Rush to animate some of the scenes, so I, paid him for his work. But what I'm trying to tell you is that as much as I'm about to complain about YouTube Rewind, don't feel any sort of empathy for me, okay? I did this to myself. I think the best piece of advice I could give you is that if YouTube ever reaches out to you and is like, hey, do you want to be a part of Rewind? You should say, let me read the script first. But I didn't know that in 2018.
Yeah.
And I also didn't know that in 2017. If you look at YouTube Rewind 2017 and watch all the way to the end, keep going. Right there in the credits is me and Jaden doing a floss in space. It was a lot cooler back then. They also wanted all the animators to animate our characters in the middle of a Jello fight, and I think they wanted to put our cartoon characters over footage of real-life YouTubers in the middle of a Jello fight, but they gave us no direction, and I don't think they ever filmed a scene where they were like, okay, real-life YouTubers, remember to leave that spot empty because that's where the animated guy's gonna go. Because, they gotta plan that kind of stuff out ahead of time, right? So instead, they just threw our unusable animated Jello fight with no background at the very end as this extremely out-of-place post-credit scene. So 2017 was pretty uneventful for me. Like, yeah, I was in YouTube Rewind, but, I was in the credits. Who's going to stick around and watch the credits, But 2018 was going to be my year. Rewind wanted me back, and this time they were giving me a speaking role. Holy shit. My line was going to be,
definitely. I will be like that as well.
Let's do the In My Feelings challenge. And then the YouTuber Swoozy, who would be in his real-life human form, would say, right? And then we'd fist bump Who Framed Roger Rabbit style. So do you remember that trend in 2018 where people were doing that dance outside of their moving car? Well, apparently that...
Oh yeah, I've seen them in some Ampari X reaction videos from 2018 I did. I remember her seeing it in her reaction videos throughout 2018, and it became a trend. But I didn't know it became like a trend throughout the year right there.
Right? And then we'd fist bump Who Framed Roger Rabbit style. So do you remember that trend in 2018 where people were doing that dance outside of their moving car? Well, apparently that was called the In My Feelings challenge. Back in 2018, I didn't even know it was called that. I thought it was called Stupid. Now, if you've at all watched YouTube Rewind 2018,
did you see that?
I thought it was called Stupid.
Just
now, if you've at all
right
watched YouTube Rewind 2018, Everyone Controls Rewind, hashtag YouTube Rewind, you might be wondering why, after I specifically suggest we do the In My Feelings challenge, that not a single YouTuber or talk show host can be seen dancing outside of a moving vehicle. That's because YouTube didn't want to promote unsafe behavior. So they didn't want to show anyone dancing outside of a car. So They weren't really doing the challenge then, were they? YouTube, if you don't want to
No.
promote unsafe behavior, don't promote the In My Fucking Feelings challenge. Kids are still gonna look up the In My Feelings challenge and then watch multiple videos of people dancing outside of cars on YouTube. We don't want to promote unsafe behavior. It's on your platform, dog. You know, looking back, that should have been my first red flag, but I was still optimistic. I was so excited to be a part of this huge project, and I knew there were going to be a bunch of YouTubers involved, but I was going to be one of the few animated ones. I was going to stand out. I was going to be the odd one out. Knowing how Rewind handled animation...
That's your name right there, James. Your YouTube name is known the odd ones out, so yeah, that makes you the odd one out right there.
In 2017, when they asked me to be a part of 2018, I told them, hey, love the line, but I think it would be a good idea if we met in person, you know, and that way you can show me everything you're planning, and I can ask you all the right questions. And they agreed and invited me to visit the set the day they were filming Swoozy's line. So I was there, physically behind the camera, when Swoozy said, right? And then fist bumped nothing. I got to experience what it was like to be on a real film set with actors and directors and costumes and catering and makeup, and it was a lot, honestly, for just one line. And maybe it was because they had booked Swoozy for a full hour, but they had this beautiful man say, right? And then fist bump nothing no less than 50 times. It's
50.
One line, guys. I think we got it. And then after like take 87, my stomach sank when the director said, okay, Swoozy, how about you try saying, guys, let's do the In My Feelings challenge. Wait a minute.
Oh.
That's my line. Are we changing it? Which line am I animating now? Do you want me to do both, just like how you got Swoozy to do both? And what? Oh, you'll pick your favorites? I asked the director right there which line was I animating, and he said he was going to let me know. And then we went outside and filmed Swoozy dance in front of a brick wall, and which parts of him dancing was I going to animate my guy next to? He said he was going to let me know that too. So I took all the information I learned that day and referred it back to the other animators. What they wanted were 2 shots. They wanted 5 seconds of our characters dancing, and they wanted another shot of all of us sitting around a campfire singing horribly. After doing some quick math, I realized that if all 7 of us animators did a 5-second dance, that would be 35 seconds of cartoons dancing, which for a YouTube Rewind would be a lot of screen time. I had a sinking feeling that they weren't going to be using our full 5-second clips. And they didn't even let me know. Now, for my life-changing speaking role, I had to record my line on my own, which normally wouldn't be a problem. But in late 2018, I had just moved to California, and I didn't have my own setup set up. And to make the whole situation worse, I was only given 1 week to finish my animation and record my line. So,
1 week?
You know, the clock was ticking. Now, I think the second best piece of advice I could give you is that if you're ever in need of a quick jerry-rigged sound booth, go into your closet and hide under a comforter. In fact, hello, real-life human James here, coming to you on a Blue Yeti inside of a bathroom. The acoustics in here are terrible. Could you imagine voicing a cartoon character in this? Guys, let's do the In My Feelings challenge. See, it doesn't work. Now. All right, and now we're here inside of our makeshift sound booth, and you can hopefully hear the quality change right away, you know, like, guys, let's do the In My Feelings challenge. See, you know, we don't need expensive sound booths to have a good time.
You just need to be creative.
Back in 2018, I wanted the most important line in my career to be recorded in a professional sound booth. Luckily, I was in luck. You see, California is one of the few places home to something called a YouTube space. A YouTube space advertises itself as a place to aid content creators, providing them with facilities to create content for their YouTube channels. And to access said facilities, you needed at least 10,000 subscribers.
10,000 subscribers? Well, I won't be going to somewhere like that in the near future, because I guarantee, because I've only just hit 600 subscribers. Please, guys, please help me get to 10,000 subscribers so maybe one day I can go to California and see the YouTube space for myself right there. Please. We hit 600 subscribers earlier today, by the way, so thank you all for that. It really means a whole lot to me. But 10,000 subscribers just to have a whole space
as
like that.
a place to aid content creators, providing them with facilities to create content for their YouTube channels. And to access said facilities, you needed at least 10,000 subscribers. A little weird they put a number on it, but I get it. I had just moved to
Understandable.
California. I knew I was going to be hitting this place up all the time. When I first went to the YouTube space, I didn't call ahead or set up an appointment or anything because there wasn't an option to do so on the website, but I figured they would have to help me out, right? The line I needed to record was for a YouTube Rewind, and you're a YouTube space. Like, Susan personally asked me to be here, you know? So I drove an hour to the
Susan
space.
was the worst
I
CEO
went
for YouTube
inside,
ever.
showed them my sub count, and they said that in order to use the facilities, I had to fill out all these forms on my computer back home. But it's for a YouTube Rewind. Then I drove another hour back home and started filling out the forms, but by the time I got to the quizzes, I realized, I think this wild goose chase is probably going to take longer than a week to resolve. With time running out, I gingerly asked my new friend Aaron if I could use his setup, and he said yes, and I didn't even have to show him my sub count. I mean, I showed him anyway, though. So the line you
Lol.
hear me say in the 2018 Rewind was recorded in the Game Grumps office, which I think
Wow.
means, at the very least, Game Grumps deserves to be credited in the description of Rewind. Come on,
Oh, gay Grumps. Grumps. When I think of Grey Grumps, Grumps, I think of Pariak dying of laughter in the Do It one. Like, why don't you go and see Para's Odyssey account, because you'll find that video right there, and it was. Let me tell you something. It was actually pretty funny. It was, the Do It, the Do It. It was really funny. It was.
YouTube. They were the only ones who took me in when your own company turned me away. The deadline was
Oh.
fast approaching. I mean, it was fast approaching as soon as I got it, but I've been in crunch mode before, and I'm sure the nameless video editors were just trying to hit their impossibly tight deadlines too. I reminded myself what I was making all of these sacrifices for. Everyone was going to unanimously love this video and what it represents, and look at my channel afterwards
You
and
think they were
subscribe.
gonna love it?
December 6th, 2018.
Here we go.
A day that changed history. It was raining that day, and the world was exposed to what YouTube had been cooking up. And they all collectively hated it. Like, a lot. Like, to the point where I would be lucky if I didn't lose subscribers. I think the audience knew that none of the YouTubers involved had any say in the creative process. We were just reading our lines from YouTube's script, you know? So at least I get to say I'm in the most disliked video in history, and no one's too mad at me. Right? So was all of this stress video in history, and no one's too mad at me.
Yeah, unless you count that small minority of people right there.
So was all of this stress worth it? No. I got paid in
Knew it was.
exposure, and the exposure was overwhelmingly negative. In fact, I think Rewind was only positive for one other YouTuber.
Who?
Do you have any guesses? Jaden motherfucking Animations pulled off the biggest prank of 2018. One of the reasons people disliked 2018's Rewind was because PewDiePie, the #1 YouTuber at the time, wasn't included. But Jaden, being the genius that she is, knew he wasn't going to be included again, so she snuck in a PewDiePie reference into her 5-second dance, and no one caught it, and it made the final cut. Jaden was crowned the least cringy part of Rewind, and everyone loved her, and she got a big boost in subscribers, and all I gotta say to that is, good job, Jaden. How are you enjoying that cake and eating it too? Now, there were a lot of valid reasons why people disliked 2018's Rewind. One of them being that the video starts out with Will Smith? He's not a YouTuber. But they didn't seem to mind when 2016 started out with The Rock and 2017 started with The Colbert Show, but whatever. And I don't know if you remember what YouTube was like in 2018, but it was in the news a couple of times, you know, over a few small things. However, with
YouTube was definitely. I remember when SML were in the news back in 2018 when they were going through that torrid time of, demonetization because of YouTube's constant changing rules. So, yeah, Yeah, 2018 was not a good time if you were a YouTuber right there because of the constant changes YouTube was making.
All of that being said, I do genuinely miss YouTube Rewinds. Getting to wake up and go, wow, it's December and a new YouTube Rewind just dropped. I'm gonna watch it. And then I get to see a handful of YouTubers I recognize do a dance and not recognize any of the other YouTubers. And then I get to see the rest of the internet's reaction to it. It's better than Christmas for me. Even if it's the
Better than Christmas.
cringiest video ever, we still all watched it together as a community. And I think that's what I miss the most. When YouTube felt more like a community. As long as it's not a top 10 video, I welcome back YouTube Rewinds with open arms. And if they do make a comeback, I don't think I'd want to be a part of them. Not because I got burned in 2018, but because I wouldn't want to rob another ignorant YouTuber of the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be taken advantage of and work for free, and be a part of history. For now, we just have to live with the 9 rewinds we do have. But if you're like me and are just dying rewinds we do have.
It's like how they
But
scribbled out
if you're like
2019
me
right
and
there.
are just dying to see more YouTube Rewind content, and I know you are because you're still here, I've discovered a pretty massive Easter egg. In the description of Rewind 2018 is a link to See All the Easter Eggs. And for your viewing pleasure are 13 brand new shorts that I can only describe as skits that were edited together with existing Rewind footage. I don't think that's what an Easter egg is. They're not that funny and are pretty hard to watch, but isn't that what Rewind's all about? Have a good night. Kiki,
Yes.
do you love me? Are you...
Wow. I knew that Rewind 2018 was absolutely panned. It was, but not to the extent that that James showed off in this video right there. I do really feel bad for all the YouTubers that took part in that rewind right there, right there. They were given a once-off opportunity of a lifetime to be featured in YouTube Rewind. That just turned out in the end right there. So yeah, a YouTube Rewind needs to be creative. It does. It needs to be creative. It doesn't. It needs to be creative and show actual passion towards it, and that's what I believe 2018 did not show. Did not show any passionate rewind, what passionate or what whatsoever in there. Passionate by the YouTubers, yes, who really wanted to boost their subscriber account, but not in the way. But they all had to take part in a rewind that turned out to be absolute trash in the end. And that was at the end of a year where YouTube were making the headlines for all the wrong reasons with their constant community guideline changes right there. Kind of summed up YouTube in 2018 in a nutshell, it did. I mean, I definitely do miss YouTube Rewinds, and I would welcome them back. I would definitely welcome back YouTube Rewinds with open arms, I would, but it would have to be done properly right there it was. But seeing James's account of how he worked on YouTube Rewinds, how he worked on YouTube Rewind 2018. He did, and the stress he went through to try and get it done within a week was it was pretty nice to see. And as my ears itching, it is. I think. I think it was definitely interesting to see his experience, and it definitely wasn't worth it given the fact of how bad the video did. So yeah, that's basically what I got to say. Is poor James and the poor YouTubers who took part in that awful rewind. It was so. Yeah, I would definitely welcome YouTube. I if I had the opportunity right there, but as long as the future rewinds are done correctly right there. I did not know that there was a YouTube space in California where James lived right there. I really hope we get some YouTube spaces here in the UK. Given the fact that YouTube is so big worldwide, I would love to see some YouTube spaces, not just in the US, but in other countries like the UK and other countries. countries would love to see that. And I never knew that YouTube Spaces actually existed. So you learn something new every day. You learn something new every day. But that was a little nice insight into YouTube Rewind 2018 and the story behind how it became the most disliked video on YouTube right there. I never really watched any YouTube Rewinds I did, but maybe I might watch them in the near future. I will. And I just like that skit where we don't even talk about 2019 and how James really made sure we didn't talk about 2019 at all. All I can say is poor 2019. Poor 2019. The last good year before the 2020s came around and then the COVID stuff happened right there. But anyway, that's all I got to say for this video. It was really, like I said, nice insight into YouTube Rewinds it is, especially the 2018 one, on how James was able to become part of probably the most disliked video ever on YouTube, like I said. And will YouTube Rewind make a return in the future? Who knows? Who knows? But in the meantime, if you do want to check out my previous reactions from the odds one out, odd ones out reactions out, I will have a playlist up in the top right corner of your screen right now. And once again, I do apologize if I itched a lot in the video. It was just scratched a lot in the video. I was just really itchy. So do apologies for that. But I still do really wish that I can get to that subscriber count I can. So please, can you guys support me? So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button for me. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this odds ones out video I reacted to. Also let me know in the comments down below what other videos you want me to react to next. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, links to both of them will be in the description down below. Share this video, subscribe if you're new here, ring that bell to get notified when I upload new videos, when I post in the community tab. And once again, thank you all so much for 600 subscribers. It really means the whole world to me. Let's try and we can see if we can aim for 1,000 before the end of this year. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!